Hey folks, this is Jake Davis with On the Fly Review for you, and today I'm talking about Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice, released last weekend, directed by Tim Burton, starring Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, Jenny Ortega, Justin Theroux, Monica Bellucci, and Willem Dafoe. This is a sequel to the 1988 film, which I did a quick little retro review for years ago while I was cooking. The whole setup here is decades after the events of the first film. Lydia Dietz, Winona Ryder's character, is now a famous medium who finds herself drawn back to her family home for a funeral when she starts to be terrorized by Beetlejuice again. And there's a lot more going on than that, but that is the problem with this movie. The original film had a very specific narrative, very direct. We meet Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis the day they die. They are our main characters. There's lots of wacky characters in this movie, lots of memorable roles and performances, but it's their story and everyone else is supporting their story. In this movie, we don't get that. Just one second. So, in this movie, there's like just too many narratives broken up. It makes sense that the story would follow Lydia for a sequel, but also people want more Michael Keaton. Of course, the studio and the directors want to really show off this hot new star, Jenny Ortega. So, like, you have the stories breaking out in these three different branches, and it's not till like the last 30 minutes of the movie till everything comes together. And that's another thing. This movie is only like 12 minutes longer than the original film, and it just drags. It feels like it's an hour long. It's a very, very slow movie. It's not until about an hour into the movie there's this cool second act twist that really amps up the energy, but gets resolved too soon, just so we can wrap it up with absurd third act that is just nothing more than rehashes and callbacks to the original movie. And there is this terrible, I'm trying not to reveal spoilers, but there's this terrible thing that happens at the end of the movie that could have just been resolved with a single line of dialogue, and the cork for this hole was already written into the movie. All they had to do is just wrap it around and put it in the hole so there's not this glaring hole in the end of your movie. Maybe I'll do a spoilers one eventually. I usually try to save those till the end of the year. Welsh was a big one. And look, I understand. You can't bring Jeffrey Jones back, and I don't want him back. The hell with Jeffrey Jones. May he rot in hell. But to write him out is one thing. Makes sense. Do it. But the way that his character is just referenced and referenced and referenced and shown, they show his face several times throughout the film. They have an animated sequence depicting his grisly death, and it's just like it really does feel like not writing off a character, but a director showing his open contempt for an actor he used to call a friend, and it just makes a big part of this movie feel really uncomfortable. But yeah, sure, you can say he was trying to tell a story that dealt with grief and mourning in his Tim Burton way. But I don't know, man. I didn't think this movie held together well at all. I don't think it works. I think Catherine O'Hara is really good in it. I think Beetlejuice as a character worked a lot better in small doses. And I honestly think the relationship between Winona Ryder and Jenna Ortega as a mother and daughter is about as generic and bland as any other mother and teenage daughter relationship you've seen in any other movies.
Where's the resounds on the boy? In the Mario
She's not gonna leave me alone. Anyhow, I'm giving this movie 2 stars. It looks good. It's well cast. Dafoe, Ortega, Monica Bellucci, all actors that look like they really fit into the world of Beetlejuice. But there's no reason for this movie to exist. And yeah, man, it kind of sucks. I'm Jake Davis. I'll catch you on the fly.